Jesus at Manifestation TV here. Especially welcome. I want to welcome us especially to today's edition of our Sunday Evening with Jesus. This is what we do on a weekly basis. Every Sunday, we come here and then we spend little time with the Word of the Lord as God leads us on a Sunday basis. So you're welcome. In case you're a new person and you've not subscribed to this channel, please, we plead with you to enable us grow on this channel. Encourage us to grow on this channel by clicking that subscribe button. And not forget to turn on your notification button so you will always be notified whenever we post any of our videos. Once again, you're welcome. Okay, it is with joy as I wish to announce. I know you're already aware of our movie that we just released yesterday, The Careless Anointed Pastor. Lot of comments has been coming, lives have been blessed. In case you've not watched this movie, I don't actually know what you're waiting for. Run to our channel. If you're already here, just go to uh, check through our videos and you will see The Careless Anointed Pastor, our first movie, and it is blessing lives already. We need to see a comment, we need to see a review, so it will help us grow on this channel. Once again, you are especially welcome. Please like this video, send the link of this broadcast to your friends so they'll be part of what we are doing over here at Manifestation TV. Please don't forget to comment and let's see how well we are doing on how we need to improve, and we trust God that as God helps us, we'll keep making improvement to better serve our audience, to better serve you. Thank you so much for all of you that have subscribed and for all of you that has always been part of what we do over here at Manifestation TV. We sincerely do appreciate. Once again, you are welcome. Okay, so interesting the topic we are discussing today. Very, very interesting, and I trust that God will help us to do justice to this topic. It's an interesting one, I may say, can say it over and over again. It's an interesting one, and I trust that God will help us to get blessed through His word this evening. Okay, let's look at our anchor scripture as we progress to say one or few things before our time is up. Okay, Zechariah chapter 4 and verse 10. And the scripture says, "Do not despise these little beginnings, for the Lord rejoices to see the work begin, to see the plumb line in Zachariah's hand." This is the part we want to look at. And don't forget that the scriptures also said, I think in verse 9 of this chapter, the hand of Zachariah has laid his foundation, and his hand will finish the work. If you also look at 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 12, you see where Paul was admonishing Timothy, and he said, let no one despise your youth, but be an example to the believers in word, in conduct, in love, in spirit, in faith, in purity. Till I come, give attention to reading, to exhortation, to doctrine. Do not, verse 14 said, do not neglect the gift that is in you, which was given to you by prophecy, with the laying on of the hands of the presbytery. Meditate on these things, give yourselves entirely to them, that your progress may be evident to all. Take heed to yourself and to the doctrine, continue in them, for in doing this you will save both yourself and those who hear you So I will trust that we're making references to these biblical passages as we progress. Okay, I want you to know that Everything, whether massive, small, that we celebrate on this earth, that we celebrate currently, I want you to understand that such a thing had a beginning. Yes, there is nothing that existed that's never had a beginning except God. I would say, in the beginning was the word, the beginning God created. So that means he existed before the beginning. So virtually everything we see, everything we celebrate, everything we can look at and then say, wow, thank God for this. These, those things rather had beginnings. And if you watch very well, you will realize that everything that we celebrate today had a beginning that is small. Yes, that was small, or that we are small. And this should be at the back of our mind as we progress on this topic. Small beginning. Some translation will say little beginnings, but I just want to use this NIV version, which actually captured what I want to present. Yeah, small beginning, yes, small beginning. You just need to understand this fact that anything massive, anybody you celebrate today, in his or her achievements, this person, those persons rather, they had small beginnings. Yes, they did not just come and blew. There were times when they started. I was watching one of the old movies of uh, Mount Zion TV, Mount Zion Ministry, and wow, I was looking at thus far these persons have actually improved. So everything you see, anybody you celebrate today, anything you can look at and say, wow, this is massive. Just know that thing had, that person had a little beginning. That person had a small beginning. If you look at the thumbnail of this live broadcast, you see a kind of nursery, nursery plantation. You see, when it was smaller, and it began to grow. So you need to understand that this is the principle of life, basic principle of life that you can never run away from. Anything you are dreaming, anything you wish to become tomorrow, anything you want to achieve in life tomorrow, just know there are a starting point that is always small, or if I may say, that must always be small. This is not to negate the fact that you do things shabbily. No, this is not to negate the fact that you will not work towards perfection, but just know that that starts, is a small one. I've always said that if what you are celebrating today, or if your level at the moment is better than it's not better than your previous years. If all you can celebrate today are your yesterday's achievement, how beautiful, how you are connected, how you are not outdated. Yesterday and today have nothing to talk about. It means that you are not doing well, because it's supposed to be that today, you have improved on yesteryears. Today you have improved on yesterday, establishment, yesterday accomplishment. So life should progress in that regard. If you plant a corn today and after 3 months, after 3 to 4 months, you go to harvest and there is nothing, it's still at the same level that it was when you planted it, there is an issue. So anything you see today that you celebrate had times when it was more that even people may not like to celebrate such, but there were lifestyles, there were principles that the persons that you know are being celebrated today took, that we'll be looking at as God helps us. So because most times when you start something, you may not be, they may even be celebrating you, but that there is a place you're going. So it behoves on you to know, to tell yourself first that this is a small beginning. Don't be carried away by the applause of men. Don't be carried away by the praises that men gives you in each of your achievements. If you look at men that have done so well, you will realize that at every point in time there is progress. At every point in time there is growth. At every point in time there is improvement. At every point in time that is learning, unlearning and relearning. And it will help you to better serve your audiences well, and also to keep making progress in your area of career. So the first thing you need to understand is that that thing you've started, or that thing you would want to start, despite how big you are starting, it is still small beginning. Yes, because you just began, and then you intend to make progress. And if tomorrow, after 3 to 5 years, your current level is no better than your beginning level, then there is an issue, because you are supposed to be making progress. So the first thing you need to tell yourself when starting a project, when starting anything, is that this my present point from where I'm starting is a small beginning. And this has actually prevented a lot of persons from achieving their projects, because in achieving a project, in establishing anything, in making any success, there is a need for starts. There is a need for to take a step. Many persons are waiting for when everything is palatable before they make a step. People are waiting for when things are convenient before they start a process. And most times you will wait till eternity and that thing will not start. It's always good to start and progress from there. It's always good to start, learn from there, and progress with your life. But many persons have, refuse to marry because they have not seen probably a man that met their tomorrow. A man that meets their future, a man that meets everything they want in life. No, they don't want to start and progress from there. Many men too have not, think about settling down because they have not in themselves got everything they want to, as regarding their life. They have put a standard. If I don't get this and this, I will not think of settling down. And this has prevented a lot of persons from settling down. And you realize that year in, year out, those things you want to achieve, you may not have achieved them. And years are going, days are going, time will not be by your side by the time you realize. So there is a need for you to know that every start, every step is a small beginning. Every beginning is a small one. And despite how big you started, it is still a small one, because your tomorrow is supposed to be better than the moment. So I'm trusting God that by the time we are done with today's edition, you would tend to know that you have been the one delaying yourself when the Lord, has given you a go ahead to go about a particular project. Because I've come to realize that everything we do on this divide is timed, bound. There are times that God has set a zeal, a button in your heart to achieve a project. By your own rating and by your own imagination, you'll be thinking you are not prepared for such an adventure at that point. By the time you realize, the zeal dies, because the time for its establishment has gone. The time when heaven was on your head for you to achieve such a thing has gone. The time when the Lord was bringing the vision and was wanting you to achieve to achieve a thing by his own calculation. God has said, okay, at this point people are going to be blessed through your life by this thing you're going to do. But then you look at yourself and say, no, I will not have to start this because of this, because of that. But then the Lord is telling you to move by faith, that by the time you go through life, you begin to see those things you think that you don't have. And even you gather them at the point of movement. There are things, if, for example, the thing I need, to go to a particular point, is in my front. If I don't move a step, I will not get that thing to move to that point I'm looking at. So most times you delay the plan of God for your life, thinking that God was actually the one delaying you. Early this year, God made, I got an inspiration from the Lord when I was trusting God for several things, trusting God for when will I do this, when will I do this. God made it, I had it very clearly in my spirit, and He says, if you don't move to action, God may not, do anything. So, Bible say that if we must live, it will be by faith, for the just shall live by faith. So whenever you feel a strong zeal, a strong burden in your spirit to commence a thing, when you have made your researches and then look at one or two things that is need to make a step. Our journey, as long as a Christian is concerned, is a journey of faith. Everything will not be palatable for you to commence. When you have commenced, you begin to see the help of God within and around you, and you begin to utilize those helps to achieve whatever thing you want to achieve. But an average believer want to get it all. An average believer want to, be celebrated at the top while you are still at the low. You don't know that there are things you need to be doing at this moment that will help you to build stamina for the place you are looking for to achieve one or two things in life. If David was looking at the throne and refused to go to the bush and tend the sheep of his parents, he would not have got the stamina that were necessarily needed for what he was, for where the Lord was, is taking him. So most times, what God is putting in your mind as a burden, as a zeal for you to achieve, they are rudimental, necessary for where He is taking you. And if you take that bold step, there will be many things you will learn that will help you for where He's taking you, in holistically in life. This is not to say that you should not prepare very well for anything you are going to do in life. No, it is not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is that in as much as it is good for you to prepare, you need to know that you need to observe time when you need to launch out. And in launching out, you need to know that this is your little beginning. This is your small beginning. Having this in mind that this is your small beginning will help you to progress. That book that is in your mind to write, if you don't settle down, begin to write, you may never write that book. That project you want to comment, if you don't sit up and start doing it, you may never do it. Some people will say, I will not write this book until when I've blown, then I'll begin to write. There are many more books to write in life. That writing this today will not prevent those ones you would write tomorrow. There are many businesses to commence tomorrow that doing the business today will not prevent you from doing that tomorrow. There are many things to do tomorrow than doing the moment will not prevent you from doing them. You need to know that life is gradually and life is time bound. The things you are supposed to do today, do them. Forget about tomorrow. Tomorrow may never exist. Yes, you may tomorrow. You may not see tomorrow, but most times we accumulate and store up things we are supposed to do at the moment for tomorrow that we don't know whether will come. We talk as though we are the custodian of time. It's important to realize that God is the custodian of time, and He may decide to take you tomorrow. When you get there in heaven tomorrow, you begin to tell Him reasons why you are not able to achieve those things. But that tomorrow may never way. So you need to know that that is a haste in the heart of the master. Not that you rush destiny, but then that you know that laziness is not an attribute that God desire in your life. So do those things in your heart today and grow. Look at what Paul told Timothy: let no one despise your youth, but be an example to the believers in word, in conduct. These are not my problem. He said, till I come, give attention to exhortation, to reading, to exhortation, to doctrine. So there are things you're supposed to be doing at the moment as you wait for that expected end. Don't sit behind. I have met many persons. When I did my second book launch, I met a guy that was a kind of that. Imagine that he wanted to write a book before, but he stopped and all that. I told him, let's meet. Till I finished service, he never met me. He was a couple like me. He never met me, and that book may never be published because probably he's waiting for. And by the time you wait, the zeal dies. By the time you wait, the motivation, the reason why you wanted to publish that book will just die. There was a book I started writing, before now. Had I published that book before now, it would not have, reached the level that it is. Now I don't even know whether I would publish it because I've lost you. Those things, I was excited right in those times. As I read through them, there is no more excitement in those write-ups for me. Why? Because maybe I did not utilize timing, but I trust God as God helped me, and I have to go back to that and have work done for its publication. So what am I trying to say? Don't compare tomorrow. Don't compare today's achievement, the things you're supposed to do for tomorrow that you don't know. You are sure of today, you are not sure of tomorrow. So there is need for you to start small in that business. Start, even if you're using millions to start, it starts. And I want to say it, even if you're using millions to start, if that million is not your small beginning, then there is an issue, because tomorrow you are supposed to have progress to another level. So if your current level, I said it before, is smaller than your starting point and when you started, then you need to sit back, retreat, and know that there is a problem, because indeed you are not making progress. You are only celebrating today. Yesterday you can say, I was on fire when I was on campus, I was on fire this, I did this. No, those things are stories. We want what you should be doing at the moment. That is the heartbeat of the Father regarding your life at the moment. That is what God is talking about your life at the moment. That is what God is saying you should do at the moment. Yesterday, testimonies are outdated. They are already, we need current things that you are doing with the Lord. Bible said, as my Father works, I walk. God is always doing something, and He's always communicating what He's doing in the heart of the vessels that He wishes to use to achieve those things. Maybe you are the vessel God, want to use to achieve what you want to do at the moment, but you have procrastinated what the Lord has put in your heart to start at the moment. So please don't. How will I say it now? Don't procrastinate the work of the Lord. And one thing you need to know, very important, that the Lord can replace anybody. And there's nobody in life that is indispensable. The Lord can replace you to achieve that is end. And by the time you realize it, you may regret. But the mercy of God most times finds our way, and then we're able to do those things we are supposed to do yesterday, we are doing it now. And Bible said, there is a time in your youth, say carry your yoke in the days of your youth. There's a time that you have this excitement. Do it. There are things that I did yesteryears that if I look at them now, I'm not proud of them. But those days, those years, I was excited doing them. But now I've progressed, and those things I did those times affected lives that are necessary to be affected at such level. And as I progress, I make progress and affect levels, affect people at the level where I am. As I make progress more, affect levels, affect lives, and that's at such level. So if your current level, I say today, it's this kind of message is a message that will make us to think about our life and retreat, to look at our current level. What is really happening in my life? What is really happening? Is my level today worse than when I started? So if all you can make reference to now is how big your early days were without anything to show for it now, then there is a big problem that calls for attention. A big problem that calls for attention. You need to believe so much in the vision which God is giving you at the moment. You need to believe so much, that He that says start is able to sustain you. You need to so much believe in this vision and make a start. And I want to say, don't start a vision that you have not believed. If you don't believe in a vision, you will struggle to achieve that vision. So you need to believe so much in the vision that God has given you. And I want to say at this moment, many persons will fight you at the commencement of a vision, because for them, they are right. They don't know why you started what you started. You are the only one that got the vision. So instead of spending so much time in convincing them, there is so much time that are needed for you to build stamina for what you are doing, and stay true in what you are doing. You need to have blind eyes. That's something I said one time in my channel, that blind eyes are needed for life achievements. In blind eyes I mean focus. Because a lot of things will come, a lot of you see, you look at these people who are making progress more than you. No, don't learn from people, but don't be distracted by their achievements. You need to have blind eyes to side attractions, to side attractions, yes, and distractions, and focus on the goal, enduring the pain of the moment. Yes, that's why I started from beginning to let you know that you just started. It's a small start, so you need to endure the pain of the moment as you progress in your life. So there are gratifications that you will have to endure. There are, you look at people that started yesterday celebrating their level now. Don't be so much bothered. Celebrate them, but don't try to live their lifestyle because you've not got to such points. So focus, endure the pain. delay some gratifications as you progress to achieve what you want to achieve in life. So endure the critics of people and learn from them and grow. You will be criticized. I know when I started a YouTube channel, there was how I used to package my video. My God, there were negative comments that I had to endure. But I looked at the comments were consistent. Many persons chatted me up and then made so many persons like that style of video too. But several we are actually complaining. I had to step down and then improve from there. So you need to have in a positive mindset to people's negative comments so that you would grow because most of their comments, most of the things that they are complaining is because most of them are concerned and then they want you to improve and grow. But you need to know that it is not a reason for you to back down. It's not a reason for you to give up. It's the reason to work more. When people are sleeping, it's a time for you to sit up and prepare. If you really want to make progress on this earth, you need to know that a lot of hard and smart work, are needed for you to progress. So when people are sleeping, when people are flirting, you need to sit up and then begin to work on the critics of people so that there will be progress in your life. If truly you want to make, a meaningful impact on this earth, you need to stay on this lifelong learning process. Sorry for that. So practice, I've said it for practice lifelong learning lifestyle. Don't get to a point and stop. Don't get to a point and stop. Look at your life. What do you need in life? Forget about the level of people already celebrating you. When I was in the bar serving as a core member, I would only go for Bible study, you come, you share word of God, as man of God, and all that. But then when I came to just not for them. I know that I needed some media, media knowledge. I had to enroll, forgetting about enroll, and then as I do the work of God, I'm learning one or two things that is necessary for my journey, serving the Lord too, with the strength and the skill that I've got so far, and then learning and contributing. So you need to look at your life and then look at what you need to grow. If it's a course, get the course. Look online, YouTube is a very good place now to learn anything and improve. Don't give up on that thing you're doing because you don't have the necessary skill. You can sit up and learn them. First, I started YouTube channel, I had to buy a course on video editing, and I'm still learning, I'm still exploring the app I'm using, on a daily basis. That is growth. And this is the level I am at. If tomorrow the same thing I'm doing is what I'm doing, what I'll be doing, then is the same thing I'm doing now, then there is an error. So you need to practice lifelong learning lifestyle. So, and as much as possible, be dynamic in nature, be dynamic. Don't always be predictable, be dynamic and be resilient and keep grinding. Be resilient and keep grinding. Our time is almost up and to rush many things. So through it all, very important, be closer to the giver of the vision every step of the way. God that gave you the vision, be closer to him. Always go back, be closer to him every step of the way. When you are connected to God always, you will see, that it will help you to even concentrate. You will be filled with inspirations, you'll be filled with what to do at every point in time that you don't even have time for distraction. So be closer to him in prayers, in the study of the word of God, attending church programs, connecting to programs too online that will lift your spirits. Be closer to him because as much as we put our own strengths to succeed in life, there are spiritual implications to life that will help in the physical manifestation we are seeing. We know it is no longer a news that the spiritual control the physical. So you need to know that a lot of battles, are being fought in the realm of the spirit. A lot of battles. Most times, when you want to crack a ground, when you want to start a thing, you need to know that the starting point will always be God. I would say, in the beginning was God. So in the beginning, there is always somebody that should be there, and that is God. So As you start, ensure you start with God. As you commence, ensure you continue with God, drawing closer. If you have lost touch, go back to Him, retreat, go back to Him and see what's happening. Don't give up because many things are not working, except when you feel so much led to back down. Maybe you started going what you are not supposed to have started. If there is need to retreat and then prepare, go ahead, anything, but ensure that you are closer to God and be consistent with what you're doing and employ hard work and smart work as you grow. It is not a news that your company has a whole lot to do with the way you go in life. I personally take myself away from negative people. There are people that you are not just being with them will not give you that necessary environment to grow. So choose your circle very well. You have the right to choose who comes into your circle. I've come to realize by experience that most men that have made it in life do not have so much circle, so much you can have your friends to a lot of people, but then your circle, you need a circle, you need to take care of your circle if you truly you would make any meaningful thing on this earth. I believe so much that this has blessed your life. Many more things that are necessary to be said as regarding small beginning. But I believe that God has blessed your life with this few time that we've spent. We're even supposed to have spent 30 minutes, but then this is about 32 minutes and also reading. So thank you so much for being with us through to this point. If the Lord wills that we'll come back again on this topic or part two of it, we will do. But I believe that the little we've discussed here has blessed your life. Please don't forget to give us a like. Don't forget to share the link of this video. Don't forget to comment. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel in case you have not subscribed to this channel. You will encourage us to grow on this platform to reach wider audience by doing this. So God bless you and thank you so much for staying true to this point. We wish to see you tomorrow as we continue with our daily health tip. Our daily health tip. We are trusting God that a lot of things are coming to better help us to take care of our health. And before we go, don't still forget that the Careless Another Pastor has been released and lives have been blessed already. Rush now and watch and let us have your comment and review as it will help us to progress to better serve you. Thank you so much and God bless you.